Consecrated in 1852, St. John the Evangelist Cathedral here in downtown Cleveland has 152 years of Catholic tradition behind the holy door. But for many Catholics like me, and maybe you, when you're in this cathedral or you drive by, you think of Bishop Anthony Pilla. How did a boy from Cleveland become bishop of this diocese? Many people say it was Bishop Pilla's kind heart, his gift for preaching the gospel, and his brilliant mind that led to his appointment as bishop from the Vatican. Ask Bishop Pilla how he became bishop. He says the answer is quite simple.
My mother and father. Everything I am, I owe to the two of them. They made me who I am. All those things you talked about were qualities that they taught me, you know, and that's who I am. And the others reinforced it, but I think that's where I got it.
The Pilla family grew up in a home filled with love, the Catholic faith, and old-world Italian values.
And to be able to go into the house and have that little Italian lady put her arms around you and say, you know, how are you? What do you want to eat? You know, and just make you feel totally at home. So I think that was wonderful. And she also helped me in my ministry, because whenever I had good friends, if I really wanted to compliment a good friend, the highest compliment was to bring them to my mother's house for a meal. And she, in her simplicity, was not impressed by, you know, the importance of these people. They were just people. And they loved her and respected her, and I was able to communicate with them more effectively because of the relationship they had with her. So it was very good.
A loving home that brother Joe Pilla remembers in his own way.
Did we break any beds jumping on them when we were kids? Hell yes. And who got blamed for it? I did. Why did I get blamed for it? Because I'm the oldest, you know. And I remember Dad never raised his hand. My mother used to whack me all the time. And I used to say, Mom, why do you always whack me and you never turn around and whack Anthony? And she says, that's because I love you. Okay, I said, well, why don't you love Anthony sometimes?
They loved me enough to tell me when I was right, and they also loved me enough to tell me when I was making a mistake and that I ought to change. And my brother was very, very supportive.
After 50 years of a very public life, at home, Anthony Pilla is brother and uncle.
When Anthony comes here, he's Anthony. He's Anthony the priest, Anthony the bishop, but he's Anthony of family.
In 1981, and for a quarter of a century thereafter, Bishop Anthony Pilla shepherded nearly 1 million Catholics in Northeast Ohio. A cornerstone of Bishop Pilla's tenure was an emphasis on providing educational opportunity for all children in our area.
He may not remember, but we went fishing a couple of times, just a few Lake Erie, and he didn't like baiting the hooks. I think even there his gentleness came through.
Bishop Pilla continues to attend parish events, even going to bat to benefit hunger centers at an annual ball game. At Notre Dame College, the Bishop Anthony M. Pilla Endowment Fund provides scholarships for high school students in need of assistance.
Representatives from the various ethnic groups.
Bishop Pilla continues to unite people of every race, every faith, and every economic circumstance.
I mean, even in walking with him to an event in Cleveland, from the Chancery to, let's say, down to Tower City, you'd run into people on the street, some of them well-known, who people would recognize and know. Other people, homeless, people who just would come up to him, or people with whom he would talk. And, you know, it was that same kind of respect for their human dignity and their person.
In 2008, Notre Dame honored Sam Miller with its first ever Notre Dame Medal. In 2009, how fitting the tradition continues with Notre Dame honoring one of Sam Miller's dearest friends. In the 1980s, Bishop Pilla and Sam Miller raised millions of dollars to save inner-city Cleveland Catholic schools. These men built a historic bridge between Catholics and Jews.
From that point on, our friendship really blossomed. I used to deliver bagels to his mother every Sunday morning. One hell of a nice little lady, Mama Pilla, who, when he and she were together and I was there with them, she would order him around, go get Sam coffee, go get Sam this, go get... I'd say, listen, hey, Ma, you can't do that. This is a bishop. She says, in my house, he's no bishop. He's my son, and he do like I tell him. Then that was the end of it. I've met thousands of people in my life. Very intelligent, but very few with total goodness. This man has what you call a rare quality, total goodness. And he fights the very essence of evil, which is to take something and make nothing out of it. He forged a bond in this community that long after he's gone and I'm gone, between the Jews and the Catholics, that'll be very difficult to break. All I can tell you is there'll never be another guy like Tony Pilla.
I have heard so many people say that when they faced a crisis, when they were ill, when a spouse died, when a sibling died, God forbid when a child died, Bishop Pilla somehow knew about it, and even if it wasn't somebody he knew well, he picks up the phone and he said, I heard the news, I care, I'm praying for you.
Most of my adult life, Bishop Pilla was my bishop, and that's how I thought of him, as my bishop. And I think, to me, he exemplified the Good Shepherd.
On this campus, Bishop Pilla's connection to Notre Dame is ever present. His connection to Notre Dame students, real.
Literally day one I got here, I wanted to go to the University of Notre Dame Law School. And I found out that Bishop Pilla was going to be on campus at this Eastern Orthodox Tolerance Resource Center event. So I went, and Sister Marianne Barron introduced me to him, and I'm not sure exactly what she said, but it was something saying that this is one of our students here, Philomena. And then I'd asked him to pray for me that I got into the University of Notre Dame Law School, and I'm happy to say I got in, so I would like to thank him someday. That I honestly credit that all the sisters here praying for me, and then he promised he would, and I got in, so yeah, I'm really thankful for that.
Philomena, I want to thank you for bringing to my attention a conversation we had years ago. I'm happy we had that conversation, and I'm happy it had a positive effect in your life. I understand you're doing very well and that you're going to law school, and I was delighted to know that because you're a talented young woman, and I'm sure you're going to do great things, and you're going to be a blessing in the lives of many, many people. So please continue to live according to your values and commit yourself to the betterment of this world, and I'm sure you're going to have a good life. God bless you, and congratulations.
Anthony Pilla was listening when the nation's first Catholic president reminded everyone that here on earth, God's work must truly be our own. For Bishop Pilla, God's work has always been his own.
I am Notre Dame College.